Liquor Talk, brand new episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of Grown Folks Conversation with some liquor. And shout out to everybody that's checking out Liquor Talk for the first time, or whether it's your 300th time. I definitely appreciate all the support. I'm your man Victor, podcasting here in Florida. Today we got a returning guest. She is now the host of the Pinky Swears podcast, podcasting out of New York. It's Sierra. Sierra, welcome back to Liquor Talk. How have you been doing?
Hey, hey, friend. Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. It's great to have you back on. And
It's
we
great
were
to
just
be back.
talking.
It's great to be
Yes, yes. It's great to have you back on. Talk to me
back.
about this rebrand because last time I had you on, it was a hurricane party and it was the Wet Lounge podcast. Now you're under a new podcast name. Talk to me about the rebrand.
Yes. Okay, so the rebrand. It's been coming for a while. If you're here and you're in the stream and you know the Wet Lounge, please don't curse me out because I know I have been gone for almost 2 years now, almost on this grand hiatus. But in this entire time that I've been ghost online, I have been working behind the scenes to create a new podcast, Pinky Swears, which I believe still holds the theme of the Wet Lounge, which is an explicit sex-based podcast, okay? But this time we're going to elevate that. We're going to get a little bit more mature. We're going to get a little bit more grown and sexy. Your girl is turning 30 in January, okay? So we're going to elevate. What I really want to do, I'd like to curate a safe space for women to feel seen and heard, but not exposed. Because I notice when I'm out with my friends or I'm at work, the things that women say when we're amongst each other, you'd never know that that's what we're thinking about certain subjects. That could be motherhood. Granted, I'm not a mother, but I sympathize and I understand where my friends are coming from to the best of my ability. Or with our own men in the relationships, or maybe your child's father or your husband, maybe your girlfriend, however you get down. However you get down. But it's the things that we don't talk about because society has told us women are supposed to do ABC. You're supposed to endure womanhood. And it's like the girls are afraid to age. They're afraid to get older. They're afraid to step into those shoes of womanhood. And you shouldn't. I don't feel like womanhood is something that we endure. That's something that you're supposed to show up to. You're supposed to conquer. You're supposed to actively take participation in and curate those special moments in your life. Build into your community, and your community will build back into you. And some people may not have communities. So we're going to build that here together. I'm going to create a space where the girls can come together, relax, relate, and release on all levels. Let's put our hair down, take our wigs off, loosen the braids, whatever. And let's talk about what we're doing, where we going, where we been, and how we going to get through it together. You got me, I got y'all, and we going to figure it out. We going to figure it out. So that's what we doing on this new show. That's the rebrand.
Bet that is what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Happy early birthday. Shout out to all my January birthdays out there. I got a
Okay.
sister and a mother who both celebrate January birthdays. One is at the top of January, the other is towards the middle of January. So pretty
Okay.
sure you fall somewhere in there.
All right, we like that. We like that. I know a lot of people born in January, so shout out to us. We gonna let everybody else have their moment because the greatest is on the way. It's on the way.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of moments, I do want to give a quick happy birthday shout out to two of my Virgos. Shout out to my aunt and my grandmother who are both celebrating birthdays this month. The Virgo season, shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know we may not talk as much, but hey, the love's still there, you know what I'm saying? So we always got love for the family. But going back to you, Sarah, how did you know it was time for you to rebrand from the Wet Lounge podcast?
I knew it was time to rebrand by sitting on the sidelines. I just knew there's more that I can do here. There's more that I want to do, and maybe it's just time for me to venture out solo for a second, see if I can create that dream platform. And I know there's always things that come about where what you expect or what you try to put in, you may not get out. But I'm a very relentless person. I don't give up. So I think that it's time. I've also been sitting on the sidelines and I've been seeing the nonsense out here in these streets. I've been seeing the nonsense. It's time to call it out. It's time to call it out. I think the streets needed me. I think they needed me. So I'm back. We back out here in these streets.
Man, listen, I took like 2 months off, and the streets were already calling me back. I'm like, because I
Okay.
saw the BS going on. I'm like, damn, I
They
can't
need
take off
us.
like just 2 months because of all this BS going on. So it's like we need it in these podcast streets out here.
Okay, they need us. You gotta hear the raw, unfiltered, the ra cha cha. You got a little razzle dazzle. You gotta hear it. Like if you don't hear it from us, if you don't hear it from me, ain't nobody gonna tell you. Cause ain't nobody gonna tell you like an Aquarius gonna tell you. So just tune in. Just tap in with your guys. We got you.
Yes, we definitely got you over here. This Sage got you over here as well on the Liquor
Okay.
Talk. So talk
Okay.
about the whole process of rebranding, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people can rebrand and the first brand was better than, the current brand they trying to push on people.
Right, right. I think that's always a thought. Like, what if my first show turns out to be more successful than my next show? And I feel like that's something that time will tell. But I mean, the people go where I go. So, but on a serious note, rebranding, it can be hard, especially for me if you're a creative, like thinker, if you're deep in thought when it comes to things that you like to do and your crafts and your projects, then you know what it's like to feel like you're good at everything. All of your niches and all of your ideas, your hobbies, your wants, you feel like you can execute it all. And that's how I feel sometimes. Like I can do a podcast about this. I can do a podcast about that. So I needed to sit down and really think, what is important to me right now? What message am I trying to get out now? And that message is speaking on women's reproductive health, especially in these current times where our rights are being taken away from us. So I want to educate the girls. I found out that I have stage 2 endometriosis last October when I had an ovarian cyst removed off of my ovary. I'm okay, everything's okay, but that was a little taken back for me because I know what endo is, but I only know the fearful side of endometriosis. So when I got the news or whatever, I felt like, wow, my life is over. But I have a doctor, she is a Black woman, and she sat me down and she educated me on the real facts and the myths of endo. And I feel better. I do what I have to do. Some days are hard, some weeks are hard, but it's it's what we do. I keep going and I keep curating those moments despite what's happening in the background of my life. So I got to manage on it. But there's so many girls that don't know that they have endo because we are told that womanhood hurts. These things hurt. It's supposed to feel like this. You're too young to feel like that. And I want to teach women of all ages, because it's never too late to learn about self advocacy. I want to teach everyone to speak up for yourself. Nobody will root for you. Nobody will believe you as hard as you believe yourself. You have to keep going. You have to keep talking to people until someone listens. And that's in every aspect of your life. You have to keep speaking. You have to keep speaking up and keep speaking out. And I just want the girls to know that. On top of, tapping into their selves, tapping into their egos, tapping into their true inner beings. You don't have to be performative. You don't have to be afraid to say, I don't like this or I really want that. Speak up for yourself. So that's what I want to do in a fun, caring, and educational way. And yeah, so once I got that together, I knew I was ready to do this. I was ready to come back. I had my facts. I had everything set up. So now we here.
That is what's up. I'm glad you were able to overcome that disease. Like I said, I'm sorry that I had to hear that you happened to you, but I'm glad you fully recovered from that. We're always rooting for you over here, and also I appreciate you for sharing that because that's definitely deep. So I
Of
definitely
course.
appreciate you sharing that and definitely putting us on game on that kind of matter and stuff. So Black people, we definitely need to talk to our doctors and stuff. So and also now, can men with fathers men that are fathers of daughters, what's your advice to them in listening to this podcast? Because I really feel like maybe they can get something from this as well to help them understand. Because they always say us men don't really understand women until we have a daughter of our own.
And I believe that in a lot of cases that can be true. And that's okay to a certain extent. But I think that as a society, we should stop weaponizing the lack of know-how that males may be presenting because the information is out there. But on the other side of that, I understand that there may not be spaces where men feel like they can go to learn these things without being judged or feeling as though their motives are different than what they're saying. And I understand that. So hopefully watching the show, you will learn, something that you can use to maybe your daughter or your wife or yourself in general. But listen to your daughters when they talk about their pains, and not just the emotional, but those physical pains. Like my parents had me young at like 20 and 22. And growing up, Black people, you hurting, if it's not broken and bleeding, go lay down. You lay down. You lay down, you take a nap, and that's it, But you have no idea what those things can lead to when they're older. So I'm dealing with things that I experienced as a child that I'm taking care of now. And that's cool because, again, you take charge of your life. But listen to your daughters. You never know what they're going through, and it's their first time. It's their first time. Every year that they get older, they are taking a step towards womanhood, and they're figuring it out. So they don't know everything, and you don't want them to get that information from their friends. And with the way social media is today, you do not want them to feel like they have to learn something about their bodies through a thread on Twitter. That's not conducive. You really don't want that for them. And I get that it may be uncomfortable, but that's why I do this show, because we got to tackle those conversations where it's like, oh, I would never say that out loud. Well, you have to. That's the problem. We got to say these things out loud, because if we don't, we'll never bridge these gaps. And I believe, if you speak to your daughter now, she may not want to talk about it, but give her grace, give yourself some grace. It's your first time as well dealing with it, but speak to them, let them know that they can talk to you, and just listen before you ask the questions, because they might talk and answer the question anyway. So just take your notes and you just keep going.
That's real. That is definitely real. So listen, to the men out there with daughters, you heard it from Sierra. You definitely listen to your daughters. And also with single moms with sons, you definitely need to listen to your sons as well, because that education is important as well. It's like we got to deal with our pains, whether we're young or it's broken. We can't be what I work for our parents. It ain't gonna work for us. So we definitely got to educate ourselves, because times is changing now, and it's getting even more ridiculous every day.
Every single day, and you really have to. You'd be surprised. It seems like for the younger generation, for both the boys and the girls, they don't really have. Excuse me, the wine is getting to me. It doesn't seem like they really have spaces. Like we had. There were teen clubs. There were teen clubs that you could go to. The roller skating rinks, they were open. There were more handball courts that were open. The kids were outside, even if it was just outside in front of the building. They're jumping rope, they're on the bikes and scooters, they're at the after school centers, but they don't have these things anymore. Like their sole purpose, like after school, is social media. And it's just not a place for kids. There's some things that are kid friendly online, but for the most part, they're getting all the damaging parts of society shoved down their brains 24/7. And that's the problem. That's the problem to a certain extent, because they're young, they're impressionable. It's easy to tell an adult, hey, go outside, touch some grass. It's easy to tell an adult that, because by this point you should be able to differentiate what you should and shouldn't be doing, regardless of what social media says. But to a kid, everything is a joke. Everything is a party. You don't care about any of that. So, it's like, it's very sad. So I would say, if you can, mentor the youth. That was a conversation I seen on Twitter. Men were saying they don't want to mentor the youth if they're not sleeping with these kids' parents. And it's like, that's actually terrible. Like, what do you even say to that? That's terrible, because those kids don't ask to be here. Maybe they do have fathers. What about the ones that have fathers, but their fathers are disabled and can't take them outside and do things with them? So they have to suffer. Like, we have to show up in our community, guys. Everybody has to show up. Everybody complains that there's no village, but are you pouring into yours? That's the question that you have to ask yourself.
For real, definitely for real. We definitely need to be tapping back into our villages and stuff. We definitely need to be looking out for our kids, regardless of the relationship with the mother or the father or whatever. We definitely need to, because we had that growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
there's so many male mentors I had that they weren't trying to hit it with my mom. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so if we had that growing up, we
Right.
definitely need to give that to these kids nowadays, because the government trying to shut all that shit down.
Uh-huh. Yep, we got to care about each other now more than anything. It matters. It matters for us. It matters for the kids. And there's really no harm in doing it. Like, what's the harm in showing up for people in a way that you want people to show up for you? I'm not saying overextend yourself. I'm not saying be a fool for anybody, but you can't get what you don't put in. So,
That's real. That is so real. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Liquor Talk. The more you drink, the better we sound. Shout out to everybody listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Also, to any potential sponsors listening to this, holla at your boy, you know what I'm saying? Because we will be promoting liquors on here as well. So,
yes.
speaking of liquors, tell me about your favorite. What was your "I'm not gonna ever drink again" story? Because we all have this story that everybody says, "Oh, I'm never gonna drink again," which is cap. But anyway, what's your story of "I'm never gonna drink again"?
Oh my God. I feel like I have so many. Jesus Christ. I feel like I just had one 2 weeks ago.
Damn, really?
Man, man, oh man. Oh man. I don't even know how I made it to work. I don't know how I made it to work. And it's so bright in there. I felt like I was dying at that desk. Okay, my never drink again. Let me see. 4 Christmases ago. I'm in DC and we're drinking Rand Nephew's rum, if y'all are familiar.
Ooh, shit.
Yes. That was my first time having it. My first time. And it was so nasty. That's all we got. That's what we're drinking. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna tough it out. I don't know what happened. I know I had 3 shots. I know I had 2 mixed drinks. I know I had 5 Jello shots. I don't know anything else. I woke up in the morning. My lashes were in the toilet. My wig had vomit in it. My clothes had vomit on it. It was terrible. When I say my head was hurting, it felt like somebody hit me with a hammer directly in between my eyes. Directly in between my eyes. It hurt so bad. Sleeping did not help. I never in my life. I was contemplating going to the ER just to get the IV. I've never in my life felt like that. Like, let me go to the. No, I never thought that I would be doing that, but I was getting dressed. Like, yeah, we're going to go to the ER. Mind you, in DC, George Washington's ER, that's like a 14-hour wait. They don't care
Shit.
what you're going through. If you didn't get shot, you're going to sit down. Right? They don't care out there, okay? They do not care. I was gonna go and sit there to get the IV, and then I realized, what's the point? By the time I get there, I won't be drunk anymore. So I toughed it out. I threw up all day long. My throat started bleeding from throwing up, and that's when I said, never the fuck again. I will never do this again. I was off liquor for 45 days, and then I broke and did it again.
Yeah, I felt that. That's crazy. I see. Were your friends like warning you? Because I was hanging out with some people a few weeks ago. We had the Ray and nephew. They were watching report. They say, hey, you. They were just like, hey, E, take it easy, you know. So at least they were looking out. It sounded like your friends just didn't give a fuck.
Nobody warned me. And I mean, we're there with the aunties, the cousins, the uncles. Nobody warned me. Nobody ever warns me. It's like people look forward to seeing me look a hot mess off the liquor. Nobody ever warns me. It's ridiculous. And I eat sometimes before I drink. It just, I don't know what it is. But like, if we're home for the night and we decide we're getting drunk, we're getting drunk. Like, so I don't know. But I don't know. I have to calm down. So now I drink in doses. If I drink a few times this month, I'm going to relax, do it again in maybe 3 weeks, you know?
Yeah, I definitely felt that. I know in my mid-30s, I don't drink like a damn college student no more because the college students
You know
they can
what?
just
I'm so sorry. That's the sounds of the Bronx.
oh Lord, we got the cops going on in the Bronx.
And the crazy part is, I am so sure the sirens don't need to be on. They always act like they doing something. Y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all ain't doing nothing.
The New York police is really introducing ourselves to this podcast right now.
I'm sorry, y'all. I live on the
You
second
good?
floor. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, damn, that's unfortunate living on the second floor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's shout out to New York's finest for introducing themselves to the
Nah.
podcast.
Nah, man. And I was praying like so hard that would not happen. We were doing so well. But
Hey, we still doing good though, you know what I'm saying? Hey. But let's talk about these confessions because I be seeing you be posting this stuff and how you be wanting people to confess to you and stuff anonymously. So what's the best of these confessions you done got so far?
Okay, so I'm gonna hope, because when this does drop, obviously I'm going to be posting this on my story so y'all know to tap in and tell y'all friends. But I'm praying that this guy don't watch it because he follows me now. So this guy, and he doesn't seem to understand, but when you text somebody that you know, Apple will say maybe that person. You get what I'm saying? Like, for those that have iPhone,
Yes,
there's no
Apple
escaping
does
it.
do that.
Yeah, Apple is a dry snitch. But the guy texts the line and he explains to me that he enjoys having sexual relations with transsexual women. However the case, the same guy is constantly on Twitter bashing transsexual women. And I'm looking at the text, he's like, and I got a girlfriend and she don't know. And I'm trying to get her to understand that I want ass play. So I'm reading and I'm like, this is not a confession. This is a story. You're telling me a story. You wrote paragraphs, sir, because he's really getting into how he wants to be fucked. He's like, I'm trying to explain to her that I want to buy her a strap and I want her to put it on and I really want her to fuck me like I fuck her. And I'm like, well, now I want to ask him how he be fucking her. Like, you having one leg up? Wait, what you doing? What you doing? I'll be wanting to know, but I don't text back. So he's just writing, he's letting it go. He's like, but I feel like if I do that, she's gonna think I'm gay. I'm like, of course that's what you think. Out of all the things that you said, your biggest concern is looking gay out of everything you just said. Because he's really descriptive. He's like, yeah, he was like, I want her to put the dildo inside of her. He was like, but then I want to put it in my ass so we can fuck each other at the same time. And I'm in my head like, how does that work? Because I ain't never did no shit like that. So I'm thinking, damn, how does that work? Like, this nigga really is some freaky ass frog. Like, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, this can't be who I think it is. Lo and behold, it's the nigga that's always bashing somebody on Twitter. I'm like, see, you can't act like that. That's very ugly, sir. Because I know who you are now. I know who you are now, and that's very ugly. To want to be fucked by your girlfriend, but you judge other people that want to be fucked by their girlfriend. I ain't like that. But whatever. He submitted it. It's going up. It's gonna be posted. I want people to give him some advice. I ain't got no advice for that nigga. Figure it out. Because you ridiculous. Figure it out.
My only advice to him will be come out the goddamn closet, man, because that's the only thing I can think. It's like, come out the goddamn closet. If you like a man, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Because what man is gonna talk about getting fucked in the ass? Like that's the description of being gay.
And that's what I'm trying to explain to him. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to explain to him. That it's like, I can't write back because that's just not what we do. I don't write back. I'm gonna post it, and the people on the page, they will talk to the anonymous person. And also, I don't want him to know that I know who he is, because that was not the goal. That's a disclaimer. If you had my personal number at any point in time, please get a fake number before you text that text number. Because yes, that's a Google number, but it's set up to my phone. You get what I'm saying? So it will come up as maybe so-and-so, even if I deleted the number already. So I'm trying to protect y'all identity. If that's anything you're gonna take from this, protect yourself. Get a fake app for 2 minutes, then delete it. But y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. I'm gonna read it anyway, so it is what it is.
Yes, that's amazing. So what made you say I want to read these people's confessions? Because I'll be seeing some confessions and I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
So that's the whole spiel of the Pinky Swear podcast. Like, it's like I said, it's a safe space. So we're gonna talk about it all. Like, we're gonna talk about sex, like talk about your fantasies, the things that you would like to try, but you feel like if you disclose that to a man, he may look at you sideways. Because who cares if he looks at you sideways? Get another man. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, why are we limiting ourselves here? Do you know how long life can be if you live long enough? Life is so long. Do you really want to be 72 years old and feel like 40 something years to spend on mediocre sex? You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be that girl. Have better sex, people. Have better sex. Put it out there. Just relax, relate, release. Let it out, let it out, let it out. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. Because why the fuck not? Why not? Who's going to stop us? Nobody's gonna stop it. So that's just how it is. We're gonna talk, and hopefully, like, through doing that, people will feel comfortable. Like, this person likes what I like. That person kinks how I kink. It's not just me. Black people are always talking about their kinks and shame, and it's like, that's why the Black community is so small within the kink community. Everybody want to do something. Nobody want to talk about it. Talk about it. Everybody else is. How you want to join the party if you don't want to get involved? Get involved.
Yes, we need to talk about it. We definitely need to be out here talking about it. Because as the podcast host, I enjoy the sex podcast. I enjoy having the sex podcasters come on and we having these sex conversations. So I enjoy that shit, you know what I'm saying? So we definitely need to have these conversations, and we need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable with the conversations.
And that's really what it is. People don't want to look a certain way. People don't want to. And I get it, and I totally get it. I had this guy recently, and he hit me up. God, I hope he doesn't watch this episode. But if he does, sorry, friend. I'm talking about you. But we probably kicked it maybe 4 times, did the little grown up or whatever. But that was years ago. Like, I'm talking like under 25. Like, I was probably 21 or something like that. Like, I haven't rode that ride in so long. I don't even want to know what it's like anymore. I don't want to see what it's hitting for. But he's always asking a link, and I'm always telling him no. And he asks why. And I had to explain, well, you give bad head. And at 21, I didn't know how to say it. But at 29, I'm going to tell you, it's not good. It's not working for me. So to save you the heartache, I'm just not gonna come over, because bad head and you still wanna fuck, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for me. Maybe somebody else. Not for me though. And he don't get it. Like, he feels like I'm bugging out. I'm like, is this thing on? Like, can you hear me? Like, what's wrong with you? Bad head does not equate to getting fucked. That's not how that works. We not kids. You're not gonna put up with certain stuff to be nice. Like, fuck being nice. That shit whack. Like, I don't want it. Like, I do not want it. He still think I'm playing. I'm like, okay. So maybe if he does see this episode, maybe he'll realize I'm not playing. Bro, it's not good. It's not.
Listen, you gotta figure out a way to improve that head game before you come over.
It's not good. It's
Like,
not good. And I know it's not good, because when those type of conversations come up, like with the girls, he's always one of the people I think of when I think of a mediocre time. As far as like head is concerned, it's like, that's how I know I'm not just saying it to be funny. I truly mean it. It was not good. Like, stay away from me with that. I don't want it. Like, stay over there. So,
I have to agree with you on that, because believe it or not, there's been some women that they don't give good head to. I'll be like, ma'am, if you're doing this like it's a goddamn chore, if you don't crank up that inner porn star in you and show me what you're working with.
okay,
because if I gotta let you sit on my face, you better give me some good head.
I'm screaming. No, that's so real. That's so real. Because I know people. I know people, and I have seen certain people's videos or whatever. Some of us got those friends. We might send our videos or whatever the case may be. And I had to teach my friends, like, y'all, like, that's not good head. Because we exchanging videos. They like, you really good at it. I'm like, well, I mean, you already know, like, like, duh, I'm good at it. It's like, why aren't you good at it? Like, do you need tips? Does he not tell you about yourself? Is he not judging you for the head? Like, you feel like that's okay? They're like, what you mean? I'm like, bro, that's dry. I'm like, how is your mouth on him and he's still dry? What type of head is that? If somebody licks you, you'd be wet, right? How is he still dry? So now we're literally in her basement drinking Tailport. We're drinking Tailport. We're like 19 years old. We're like 19 years old drinking Tailport in the basement. And I'm trying to demonstrate how they need to give head in order to have better outcome and get a better reaction. They're like, he never makes noise. He never comes. I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I don't have that problem. Like, y'all are wilding. Like, y'all are bugging out. So I had to teach them because I can't have my girls out here like that. I can't have you out here like that, going outside. And then when we outside together and we see the guys, they going to be talking about you. Now they talking about me because they talking about you. We got to get you up to speed. We got to get you up to speed ASAP. So the next time you see him, maybe he makes some noise. Make some noise, y'all. What the fuck? So maybe, maybe. But that was all them years ago. If I was to give a class now, I would charge for it.
As you well should. Shit.
I would charge
Because
for
there are
it.
definitely people out here charging for master classes and stuff. So like you might as well make you hey, sex sells.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, sex sells. I was like, maybe get a Patreon account and give some classes or something. I said, because I gotta save the girls one class at a time. But it's okay. We gonna get it together. We gonna share some tips, some tricks, and we gonna figure it out.
And while you're at it, you might want to give some fellas some tips as well, because I ain't gonna lie. When I was younger, a chick gave me some game on how to give head, and guess what? This motherfucker helped me improve for the next chick. I'm like, goddamn. Because back when I was a young whippersnapper, still learned the game, you know what I'm saying? So
back when I was a boy.
Yeah, back when I was a boy, you know what I'm saying? So I would definitely, because you might need to give the guys some game too, because a lot of women, like, they ain't gonna come out and say it like you are, but now we understand why they might be keeping around this sorry ass other nigga, because he probably giving better head.
No, and I had to realize that. I had to realize, like, ladies, you gotta stop lying. That's another part of womanhood. Womanhood don't mean mediocre sex. Like, no, like, can we close that orgasm gap, please? Like, no way we out here doing dicks and the orgasm gap is that fucking wide. I refuse to fucking believe it. You better not fucking believe it. Get fucking active, sis. Please shake some fucking ass. Do something. No, absolutely fucking not. Tell these niggas that it's not good. It's not good. If you have to, show him something. Like, you watch porn, show him a video like this. Like, if you gotta show him like this. And if it gets to that point, you don't want to show him, please get another nigga. What did Monique say? If that nigga don't work, get another nigga. And if that nigga don't work, get two niggas. Get two niggas if you got to. But get rid of that nigga, because you lie to him, then he goes to the next girl with the mediocre sex. She always getting fucked, but she never comes. She don't tell him. He think he that nigga. He going to the next person, then he run into me. Now I gotta tell him, and he think I'm saying anything. One thing about it, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. I ain't got no reason to. I don't care enough to lie to you, about you, or on you. And I ain't afraid of nobody. So I'm gonna tell you the truth, because once I tell you, where does it go from here? Like, now what? You gonna say, oh? Like, oh, it's not good. It's not this. It fuck me like that. Lick me like that. It's simple. It's simple. It's really simple, because we can't keep going out like that. I'm tired of seeing the orgasm gap is like, what, like 11%, bro. That's not cutting
I
it.
saw that too. I was like, God damn, what the hell?
Like, that's not cutting it. And then we out here having kids and not orgasming. No.
Damn. So people,
No.
How the hell you get pregnant but you don't orgasm?
Listen, but do you understand? If only 11% of women out of the population of women that are having sex are experiencing orgasms, but there's more than 11% of the childbearing age women that are mothers, something ain't right here. Something's not right here. Get active. Tell these niggas it's bad. Tell them it's bad so that way when somebody does finally tell them, maybe they could say, well, so-and-so did tell me that before. Maybe she not just saying shit. That's why. Let them reevaluate themselves. Let them go get their game up, something. Go get inspired or some shit. But we cannot keep allowing. We can't keep weaponizing the bullshit. We just cannot. We just gonna accept the 11%. Y'all can accept that shit. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. So no, like be vocal.
That's real. That's real. Now, I do. A question did pop up in my mind. Like, when do we tell them and help them work it out, or is it? How do I say this? How do you know if it's somebody that you want to help them improve? You know what I'm saying, or compared to somebody you just want to get them out of here because it's so bad? What's the difference?
If it's that bad where you can't even consider helping them, then don't. I always say if it's not a fast yes, it's a slow no. And a no is still a no. So you may as well just say no. Like just say no if you know you really don't want to do it, like anything else. Because at the end of the day, like pussy feel good regardless if you got good pussy, but are you orgasming? Like, are you coming? That's the real issue here. So it's like, yeah, figure it out and figure it out fast because that's gonna build resentment. You mad because you never having an orgasm. He's just delusional, so he's not getting it together. You not in it to help him. You not feeling good. Just leave. Just leave. Let it be somebody else's problem and hope that she gets out of it fast enough. But it don't gotta be your problem because that's his problem. But if that's your person, if that's the person you really want to be with, if you feel like this is deeper than sex and you can teach them something, then hey, ain't no harm in that. But just know when to get off. Like when you find yourself angry for no reason and he ain't even did nothing, just leave. Just leave.
That's true. It's like, yeah, I'd rather you just leave because if it's somebody I feel like we can make some work, I'm still let's go to the sex store, let's buy some shit. Let's try some shit, you know what I'm saying? Let's roll up into one of these goddamn sex stores and let's just try some shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some 50 Shades of Grey shit. I don't know.
Something like go on the websites, some mutual masturbation, go to the sex stores, go online, find your favorite porn star, watch theirs, make some, tape your phone to the ceiling, record yourselves, like do something.
Yeah, and just please don't go live and try to act like you got that.
Right.
I'm looking at you, Unc. I'm looking at you, Unc. Don't know. Because I'm like, what'd you think? I know you saw it. What you think? I'm like, God.
First of all, my first reaction was, is he talking that bitch through it? That's the last thing I ever wanted to hear was Shannon Sharpe talking somebody through their orgasm. I never needed to hear that. I never needed to. It could have went my whole life. My second thing was, that man a goddamn lie. He a liar. He's a liar. Because your phone went live by accident. You've never been on live on Instagram ever. But also, it went live by accident. Now, y'all, I'm not always live, but I have used it a few times. Correct me if I'm wrong. That only happens if you've been on live before. When you're very first going live for the first time, there's like the little prompts that pop up and you got to press the OK button and all that other nonsense. Your phone did not go through them prompts and press the OK button just by you tossing it on the bed. What kind of iPhone you got? Because I don't got the 15. Maybe the 15 do something that I don't know about, but your phone did not press all the buttons on the way from your hand to the sofa. You went live. He trying to beat them allegations. I see you, Hank. I see
that,
you.
And I thought that too. I'm like, my process, like that's probably what he was trying to do is come clean and show y'all, look, I'm not this gay ass nigga y'all trying to make me out to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact on Instagram you gotta go through them prompts to go live. They're gonna check your connection and shit. So you got to go live. So yeah, you're not fooling nobody over here.
Right. Like that's not going to cut it. Like as soon as I heard his explanation, I was like, he lying. And then here go my homegirl. You always talking about somebody lying. I said, cuz motherfuckers be lying, girl. I was like, he's lying. I was like, you've been on live before. I was like, it's not a one button process. It's not like taking a picture by accident. I'm like, how his phone do that? She's like, oh no, you're right. I'm like, oh no, I'm right. Like, get off my dick. I know I'm right. I know. I said that. Like, he's lying. But somebody told me that on his podcast, he admitted that he did it on purpose. I didn't watch the full podcast, so I don't know. I just see the clips online. So maybe he did admit to doing it on his own. But as it stands right now in my mind, that nigga was lying.
Yeah, he was lying. He did come out and say, yeah, that was me. But I'm like, you can't be saying making up no shit about your phone if you admitting it was you. So you kind of gave yourself up, you know.
Just lying, because for all that, could have just made the video.
Right, and if whoever's doing your PR, they need to be fired, man, because that's horrible PR. They should have told you, hey, just come right out and just say it was you. Because guess what? The internet sleuths are going to find out. And then, of course, everybody was looking for who this chick was. I'm like, you nosy motherfuckers. They going through all his people.
I love it.
I'm like, you motherfuckers, y'all trying to figure out who this Michelle is. And they got people named Michelle saying, no, it wasn't me. I'm like, okay.
I loved it. It was hilarious. Oh man, but the funny part was the conversations that sparked from that on Twitter shortly after. Like, I didn't realize that there were so many women that have never been talked through their orgasm. And it's just like, y'all not fucking with the real lovers. Y'all not fucking with the real dickers. Like, a nigga don't talk you through it. What's he doing? I don't know.
Oh, so y'all like it when we talk y'all through it?
Listen, it all goes back to what I said. You got to curate those moments. Like, I'm very big on having good experiences. So I'm very selective when I have sex because I always feel as though, because of the orgasm gap, there's a chance that this man may come and I may not. And I can't have mediocre sex. So I try to handpick certain things I use to gauge if this is going to be a good time or not. You know what I'm saying? So I like to proudly say I be fucking with the real dickers. I haven't had mediocre sex in a couple of years. Ever since I started taking charge and just being straightforward, just being about it, just not beating around the bush. Things have been going my way in certain categories. And I love that for me. So, get you a man that's going to talk you through it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to pull your hair. He might slap you a little bit. If you into that, don't let nobody slap you if that's not your thing. Don't accept that. Yeah. But that's my thing. So, you got to curate the moments. You got to go after what you want.
You're blessed. You are really blessed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's amazing. It's, You know what? At this point, hey,
listen,
blessed because
I don't want people to think like, oh, so every experience is like, no, like there are some lame dudes. Like, don't get me wrong. I come across lame niggas a lot, but you gotta gauge who you entertain and how you entertain them. I don't believe everybody that gets your number should link you or sleep with you because they got your number off of appearance and a quick conversation, but in that time speaking, no way you connect with everybody you meet. So you shouldn't be sleeping with everybody. Now you're going to do what you want to do, be consensual, be adults, have fun, be safe, you grown. But that's just not my vibes. You get what I'm saying? I can tell. I know how I like to be treated. I know how I intend to treat a man. So if the conversation is not going a certain way, if you're telling me off rip that our intentions aren't aligned, if you even like certain ideologies I can't get behind, like certain ways that a man thinks, it'll turn me off. And now we're never having sex because you think like that. You think like an incel, and that's not going to work for me. So some people call it judgy. I just call it picky. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know dudes from all different types of walks of life, but everybody cannot have access to you, and they shouldn't. So I just feel like be picky, and I feel like because I'm picky, that's why I have the good experiences. But don't get me wrong, a lame get blocked every month. But blocked and fucked is two different things. I'd rather block a nigga than say I fucked a nigga and realize he's lame. So
Hey, it happens, you know what I'm saying? We sometimes we just gotta take our L's and move
yeah,
on from them. So, you
write
know, it's
down those
like,
warning signs. And if you feel like maybe I'm being too harsh, really, really think about it. And if you got to, ask the most unbiased person you know. Ask your mama. Because the answer might piss you off, but I bet you she ain't gonna lie. Ask your mama. And if she say that you sound crazy, maybe you sound crazy. But if she agrees with you, then maybe it's not you. Maybe it's actually what you're thinking, and you should feel comfortable enough to say it. If you were comfortable enough to link them and have sex, you should be comfortable enough to say whatever, with respectable means, of course.
yeah, that's real. That's real. Now, for the men that are listening to this, what's something you see in all the men that were like, y'all need to fix this shit, you know?
Men not letting the women be women. You're not letting the girls be girls. And it's so annoying. It's so annoying to me. Like, okay, like that little fun, that little fun phrase, I'm just a girl. Like, it's men, like, I don't know if you keep it, like they'll be like in the comments, like a woman will reply to something like in the shade room, and she's like, I'm just a girl. Random men that don't know this girl from corn, y'all. And he like, I'm sick of you bitches. You a grown ass woman. You look about 37 years old. It's like, you're hella fucking mad in these comments. You don't even know her. Like, what is all that even about? It's just the same. It's just fun. You act like people are doing this for real in their professional lives. And I don't mean just chit-chatting with their coworkers. They're dead ass doing this in their professional lives. It's just a social media joke. Let women be women. Like, you don't want to see women dance. You don't like to see women wear wigs. You don't want to see women go out with their friends. Like, it's weird when a man say, where's the woman with no friends? Why do you want a woman with no friends? So that way every time you want to be alone, she's always with you because she has nothing else to do. Like,
Yes.
that's what that is. Like, a person with no friends, you should run from, because why do you not have any friends of your own? Like, it's cool to be with your person, even if you always want to be around them, but it's like you have no other outlet outside of your person. That's a problem. So I always find it to be a little grotesque when men are looking for women with no friends. Like, that's just strange to me, because I bet you got friends, don't you? Like, it's just strange. Like, let girls be girls. Like, let them go out with their friends. Let them go on trips. Like, the fuck, like, let them wear makeup. They don't want us to wear makeup. They don't want us to get our nails done. They don't want you to do shit. But the type of women that they say you like, they ain't never going after them women. Like, I'll never understand it with dudes that don't like girls that go out be talking to me like, nah, you met me at happy hour. Clearly, I like to go out, so you shouldn't even be talking to me, because I have no intentions on not going out to happy hour to make you happy. I don't know you.
I don't know where the hell y'all are meeting these men at, but I'm like, that's just childish to me. And this is coming from a man's point of view over here, because I'm like, that's just childish. No, I've learned from I've talked to married couples, and they all said the same thing. Sometimes you got to let your partner go out and have a life outside of you. Let them miss you and something like that. Let them have a story to tell you when they come back.
Right.
That's why I don't be respecting dudes that always want to be up under their girl ass all the time. I really don't be respecting that. I'll be like, I've been wanting to check them, but then I'm like, it's not my place. You know what I'm saying? Because
right. No,
yeah, it's just crazy.
No,
You got it. You got it.
If you happy, you happy. I wouldn't tell nobody what to do. I'm just saying, because we all know those people. You always with that person, but it's solely because you don't have friends, and because you know if you did, you'd be with them at some point in the month. You only with that person because you do not have friends. And I just think that is strange for a grown man with a job and friends of his own to not want you to have friends of your own. Why does he not want you to go outside? And please miss me with the whole, oh, you never know what a person going to do. The same shit that they could do in your house. That's what a person going to do if that's what they want to do. Like, you got to miss me with the psychobabble. Like, people could do whatever they want to do whenever they choose to do it if they got space and opportunity. The same bullshit they could do outside, they could do in your home. Let that girl go outside. Like, It's strange. I don't
Yes.
know. It's strange.
Yes, let them go outside, and if they are out there cheating on you, guess what?
Leave
They'll
her.
slip up and they will make a mistake. Because you know what I'm saying, most people they just going outside just to go outside. They ain't going outside with the intentions of cheating on you and stuff. That's just where people need to heal from previous partners and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that be the funny
Because I
part.
yeah, because I guarantee you, if it's somebody out there who's like, "Oh, you can't do this. No woman need to be doing that," it's probably because a woman did to him and he hurting from it.
And that's all that's about. Like, it's just you gotta let that go. Like, you gotta let that go, Papa. Like, it's not a good look. And it's just so weird. Like, it's strange. Every day I be looking at men like I don't understand. And I get it, but it's like I don't know. I'll never understand it. I do not know. Like, I don't know. It'd be the one-sidedness of it all, I guess, for me. Like, I notice I have good experiences because I don't I try my best not to implicate double standards into the situation. And a lot of people, they want double standards at their convenience. They want to be able to do something while that person can't do it, and it's okay. But if the roles are reversed, they don't want the roles reversed. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, that's not how
Yeah.
that's going to work. If you want to live under double standards, then you have to understand that that's just how it's going to be. Like, you going to be on bullshit and she going to be on bullshit because you keeping up with stereotypical nonsense that really don't need to exist. It doesn't need to exist. Like, I've been in full relationships with dudes that have female friends, and that's okay. I have guy friends, and it's like, granted, no, I don't have more guy friends than I have girlfriends, but I was free to go to my guy friend's house, and I'm there literally for hours. And do you want to know what those hours consist of? Rolling up and watching Law and Order or The Temptations. Like, literally, we are like addicts when it comes to those two things, Law and Order and The Temptations movie. That's all we do when we're together, and we do the little dance steps to the movies. That's it. There's people that can't fathom that's all that goes down, and it's like, don't you understand? For something to go down, two people have to be attracted to each other. It's quite possible for this man to think I'm ugly. It's quite possible for me to think he's ugly, but we can still be friends. Like, people got to get out their heads. I just don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about, but I think people got to get out their heads and they got to relax. You got to relax, relate, release. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like, touch some grass. And yes, sometimes you're going to get caught out there and people will play you. Leave them people. You act like you got to stay with them people. You do not. Leave them people. Leave them people and move on. Move on the next day if you want to. Take a year and heal if you want to. Just move the fuck on. Just move on. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to, like, complicate things anymore. Like, it just is what it is, and it is what it ain't. Move on.
And that's the fact. And you shouldn't have to complicate things. It's like, because I definitely thought the right one, hey, if things are not going to be complicated, things will just flow naturally, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
guess what? And you guys are going to find a way to work things out together. Like, because I'm not no double standard. I'm going to go hang out with my people. And hey, if some of my people are women, hey, they know what it is, you know?
Right.
Because keep this in mind, people. People in the friend zone, not all of them want to fuck. And if they want to fuck, they would have been fucked, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep that in mind.
Right. And don't get me wrong, there are some people that wait. I thought I had a guy best friend. We were 2 years apart. I was 17 and he was 15. And I mean, for years, we're just cool. You get what I'm saying? And then I think, like, year 7 of the friendship, like year 6 or 7 of the friendship, he's trying to fuck. And I'm like, did you grow 3 inches overnight and lose your fucking marbles? Like, bro, we're not doing that. Like, are you out your fucking mind? Like, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy. We're not doing that. And he's like, well, why not? I've known you for mad long. I'm like, okay, we are strangers. Mind you, we're friends for 6 years. I'm like, whoa, we're fucking strangers. Okay. We don't even know each other like that. What do you mean? I'm not fucking you. Hell no. We never spoke again after that. We never spoke again. And I still have him on Facebook. Sometimes he says happy birthday. But it's just like, you fucking dweeb. Like, why would you ruin the relationship like that? Why would you do that? I still have our videos and, like, stuff that come up on Snapchat. And it's like, you lost your fucking mind. Like, what's wrong? Like, so in that moment, I understood when guys was like, I don't trust it. But it's like, can't nobody fuck your girl if your girl don't want to fuck. So I do with that information what you will. Like, I don't know. It's like I said, you got friends. If she can't have friends, but you got friends, it's you and your friends that's the problem. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm not here for them double standards. And it's like, hey, because you know what, we all gonna kick it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you need
Yeah.
that release. And like I said, if it's something else, I really feel like time will show itself, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
women are smart, but guess what? People can be sloppy out here nowadays. So they're gonna fuck up, and guess what? They will fuck up at the right time.
And that's all that comes down to. Like, that's really all it comes down to. You just gotta enjoy today for what it is, and that doesn't mean like be a fool again, but like just enjoy the day, enjoy the people you with, be thankful for what you got, and just move forward. Like just enjoy the vibes, because it could be gone tomorrow, or you might be here for another 100 years. Enjoy the day, because we ain't never gonna be this young, beautiful, lit again. Like, enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Yes, we definitely gotta enjoy it, because I know people in their 50s and 60s, they wishing they could be in their 30s again, you know what I'm saying? So we
Right.
definitely have to enjoy this shit.
Right. Like, and that's just that. Like, I don't know. What I realized once because I never really lived by double standards. I guess having a brother and being the oldest out of us two, I always knew double standards was bullshit. Like, I was definitely that kind of daughter to call my dad out, because he would let him do things and wouldn't let me do things. And I'm like, but you're only doing that because he's a boy. But he's stupid. He's a stupid boy. So you're going to let him do this, and he's stupid. Whereas I have common sense and I can't do it. So I already knew when I got older, like, I can't do the double standard thing. But it's from what I've noticed, it's rare to find a guy that is on the same page as I am when it comes to dating and the flow of getting to a relationship. I'm a dater. Like, I'm not gonna meet a guy today and I'm not gonna not talk to other people because I'm texting this guy that I met today. That's not how that works. Like, at least not for me. And a lot of people are like that, but I notice those people are always the ones saying they have one relationship left in them. And it's like, of course you do, because you're investing all of your time and all of your energy and all your emotion into people you're not even getting into full relationships with. And you can't blame anybody but yourself for that after a certain time, because who told you to do that? Like, why would you do that? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do you apply for one job and stop? Do you apply for one apartment and stop? Probably not. It's not a car. It's not a house. Shop around. Look at what you like. How do you know what you like? How do you know what experiences you want to have if you're only looking through door number one? Like, check around. And I notice men, they try to use fear and old societal standards to try to like keep you at bay. And that doesn't work for me either. Like, oh, so you sleeping with everybody? It's like, who said that? I said date around. Every time you go on a date with somebody, you having sex with them. That's not cute. I don't do that. You do that. Now they stutter and trying to clean up what they just said. No, you must do that. Because if you're saying that that's what I do, you must do that. Because that's not what dating meant. Dating meant dating. Sex meant sex. Words mean things. And this current times that we're in, they have a habit of trying to rewrite history and change the meaning of words. And that's why everybody mad. Everybody's talking about this generation is this generation that this generation doing the same thing the last generation did. And that the last generation did. It's just happening in a new way because there's different things there. But the same way teens follow trends, teens have always followed trends. Even in Amish villages, the teens follow trends. That's gonna happen. Oh, friends with benefits. Motherfuckers have been friends with benefits for years. What about the summer of love? Everybody was fucking everybody. Like, y'all forgot? Like, this is not no this generation shit. Like, we gotta stop acting like that just because we're overstimulated by the internet. Like, this is real life. This is what happens. Acknowledge it and move on. It's not that deep.
Yes, it's definitely not that deep. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's what we're gonna talk about on the next episode. Look, the next time I record, look how we're gonna talk about this dating pool and stuff and how does it need to get better. But yeah, you know what? That's why whenever older people try to talk down this generation, I'll be like, you motherfuckers had cocaine. You motherfuckers had that pure cocaine. Y'all didn't have the internet. Everybody went to the dance clubs and stuff. And y'all were boogieing and stuff. Man, y'all had it all, man.
Cocaine.
Nowadays, you can't even go to the club and stuff because guess what? Motherfuckers just be on their phone and shit, you know?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I was talking to this one guy, and sometimes we sleep together. He's a great person because he understands it is what it is and it is what it's not. Like, there's no double standards with us. We just vibe. We ain't together. We're not trying to be together. We just vibe and have fun as two adults. But we always have conversations, and I'm thinking to bring him on the show so you can get a better understanding. I think that he speaks great for the male perspective. I noticed that it's a lot of people, they don't want to be the person to start the conversation. You want to know what I'm saying? Like, people will get involved if the conversation is happening, but if no one opens their mouth, people don't want to be that person that gets the ball rolling. And I'm not really sure what that is or how we can move past that, but I think people just gotta, take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath and, like, shake that off and just start the conversation. Like, it's so easy to start the conversation and just close those gaps up. Like, there doesn't have to be super confusion. There doesn't have to be this, that, and the third. He started the conversation of transactional love and marriages. And he says, do you feel like today's society is based on transaction? I was like, yeah, it can be. I said, but hasn't society, marriages, for the most part been based on transaction? And then, of course, he brings it back to our grandparents, right? And I'm like, you don't think that was transaction? Women weren't able to open up bank accounts on their own until 1974. Do you really think a woman with no rights, everything she did was for love? Like, that's not what that is. It was transactional. Granddad had a whole family and a whole town over, and grandma stayed. You think she wasn't heartbroken? Of course she was. Where the fuck was she gonna go? She can't get a house. She can't get a bank account. She can't work. Don't nobody like black people. Of course she stayed with your grandfather. That's called transactional love. That's called transactional love. No matter how you want to look at it, no matter how you want to twist it, no matter how many kids they went on to have and how you came about, that's transactional love. And it's okay to say that that's what it is. That's what that was. That's what that was. Like, nobody, when they get married, says, and then he's going to cheat on me and have kids with someone else and I'm going to love him anyway. Nobody says that shit. You might do it, but God damn it, you wish you didn't have to. You wish you didn't have to. And you didn't have to. You chose to. But the fact of the matter is, that's called transactional love. To do something because you don't have much of the other option. So you're doing it so you can get something in return. Like a place to stay, somebody to provide for you, somebody to be the man in the house and fix shit and teach your sons. That's transactional. I hate to break it to you. So when you see people dating today, you're like, oh, people only want to date if they're getting something out of it. Yeah, just like before, people are doing what society put in place. And you hate it, you hate to see it because it's being spun in a different way and it's not coming out the way you romanticized it. But it's the exact same thing. A transaction is a transaction, no matter what year we stand in it.
That's real, and we are going to leave it right there. I will get you on here on this. Sierra, why do you feel like people need to tap in and subscribe to the Pinky Swears podcast?
You got to tap in, guys. You got to tap in because I'm bringing all the good guests. I have so much in store for y'all. I'm talking experts, people that really do their thing as far as holistic healing, women's reproductive rights, sexual wellness, teaching you how to do different things, how to ride the dick, how to give good head, how to eat pussy better. Like, I got the experts coming through. I have so much going on. The anonymous line is jumping. I can't wait to share that with y'all. And it's like I said, it's a safe space. We need these spaces to talk, to really say our real opinions, to really get a better understanding of ourselves, of each other. And it'll take some stress off. We'll find ourselves having better experiences and we know better. We know how to do better. I don't know everything. Y'all don't know everything. Teach me something. I'm going to teach y'all something. And if you fuck with the Wet Lounge, I promise you, I'm bringing the spice. I'm bringing that splash. But I'm bringing it in a loving and a sensual way. We're going to do our thing, guys. Like, Y'all got me. I got y'all. Please like, subscribe. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Pinky Slayers Podcast. Tell your friends to tell your friends. I am doing a 1K giveaway. Once the page gets to 1,000 followers, I'm going to pick a random follower, and they're either going to get some type of Amazon gift, or if they choose, they're going to get a Cash App blessing. No, if you already follow, if you unfollow, you are excluded from the contest because y'all have been trying it. But that's it. Please follow me. It's been your girl.
Well, Sierra, I want to thank you for blessing the Liquor Talk with your presence. And whenever you're ready to have me on that guest list of people that you want to have on Pinky Sweats Podcast, I might be in Florida, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to collaborate, ready to help you out, ready to return the favor. So you just let me know when, and I'm there.
All right, listen, we're down. I'm definitely taking guests. If you're watching, you're a podcaster, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know, shoot me a DM, and we can definitely set something up. I got dates open. Season 1 is underway. Yeah.
Yes, and thank you all for listening to Liquor Talk. Also, to any podcasters out there listening to this, we are taking guests at Liquor Talk, so y'all go ahead and hit your boy up. Hit me up everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, all them social media sites. We everywhere. Keep pouring up, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Liquor Talk Podcast. Hope y'all have enjoyed this grown folks conversation. We're having some liquor. Remember, everybody, take a shot and keep it moving. Until the next episode, we out this thing. Peace.